Interior, back at gunhold.
Get ready to feel my
The
grip.
camera pans over to a large glass window in the wall, where we see a close-up of a man with a gray military haircut and a clean-shaven face looking out into the room. He smiles.
Beautiful, isn't it?
The camera then pans over to see the man is Dr. Gerald Robotnik. He stands, arms crossed, staring at a row upon row of tubes filled with a clear, viscous liquid.
Gross.
Inside each one, a particular creation of his swims around.
I am a little creation.
This creation is a black creature, vaguely humanoid in its shape. It has small legs, 2 short arms with claw-like fingers, and a long, snake-like neck. A single large eye sits in the middle of its head. A single toothy mouth fills its entire underside, with 3 nostrils by its side. At the base of its throat sits a gem, a blue, translucent gem. These are the specimens of the beast known as the Horde.
Holy shit!
Indeed they are, Dad. With this, the military will have the last word in any war.
We see a close-up of a single tube, containing a slightly different creature. This one looks very similar to Sonic, but colored black and red. There are a few notable differences, however. Its arms and legs are longer, its eyes are larger, and it has a long, lizard-like tail instead of a second hand.
What? Explain the second head.
In addition, this beast has a gem located in its stomach, rather than its throat.
How is the ultimate life form faring?
The camera pans up to Dr. Eggman's face.
It seems to be developing well. Its strength, speed, and resilience are far beyond that of any creature.
The camera pans back over to the tube.
If it continues developing at this rate, it should be able to survive outside the tank for 3 more months.
I have an important mission for you.
The camera switches to an outside view of the entire room, where we see that it seems to be located at the bottom of a large underground complex. Large metal hallways, they love large. Large metal hallways twist and wind their way several hundred yards in any direction. Whichever way you want. Military soldiers stand ready at various intervals. All equipped with the latest weapons and armor. Large, heavily armored war machines are parked in the center of the halls. Large metal elevators connect the floors above and below this one, where more soldiers prepare for battle. The camera slowly zooms in on a large metal door at the end of the hallway. The door has a large transparent window, where we see Dr. Robotnik and Gerald standing. Dr. Robotnik is wearing a military uniform, and Gerald is wearing a less decorative version of the armor worn by the soldiers.
What is it?
The door opens, and the camera focuses on Gerald and Dr. Robotnik, who are
Yes,
different
Dad?
people now. We slowly zoom in on Dr. Robotnik's face.
What is it, Dad?
We continue to part ways with Gerald and Dr. Robotnik as the tension builds and the music swells. We see a close-up of Dr. Robotnik's face as he begins to speak.
Yes, Dad.
Gerald, I have a special mission for you.
What is it, Dad?
We see a close-up of Dr. Robotnik's face as he begins to speak.
Gerald, the ultimate life form is nearly ready.
We part ways with Dr. Robotnik and Gerald as the tension boils.
God.
Thank fucking God.
I want fucking out of here. I want out of this shit.